It's all about hockey now. This is officially a hockey podcast. Do you hear me? It is officially a hockey podcast. New York hockey is back. It's the Rangers. We got Kane. We got Tarasenko. We're going to get Ovechkin. We're going to get Crosby. We're going to get Bobby Orr and Wayne Gretzky. It's over. We're winning the Stanley Cup. I don't care. Anyway, welcome to a new way to introduce the Football Stooges podcast. We're officially becoming a hockey podcast with one of my favorite hockey teams, officially sealing the deal on winning the Stanley Cup. I'm proud to say. I'm very excited. Usually I'm a Stars fan, but I always like to watch the Rangers and have the Rangers play, and they couldn't win it with Lundy, which is awful, but hey, you know, now we have Kane. Now we're winning 7 championships in 6 years, so drinking a Manhattan, toast to New York, and let's get this party started. Why don't we? I don't know if I'm going to want to introduce this man because he's in a very sour mood being a Philadelphia Flyers fan, but here comes Mastodon.
Patrick Kane's 34. He's going to drop off after this year. Also, Searchkin is not going to get a Stanley Cup. That defense is going to waste his ass.
Haters. You hate us because they ain't us. I mean, yeah. Where are you at in the
Also,
standings right now?
You got the Bruins.
No, they'll all be hurt.
I'll get to that. Don't worry.
They'll all be hurt by then. Next up, the man who I don't know if he's big into hockey or not. The one and only Mamba. Any input on the Blackhawks?
Bullshit.
Hey, I mean, thank you for Kane. Thank you for Kane. I love the
That is
man.
true.
You know.
I mean, he's past his prime now, so
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna be doing shorter rotations. It'll still be great.
Also,
Um,
what hockey podcast? Get that shit out of here.
Oh, come on, you know, come on.
Welcome to
Gotta
the
enjoy.
hockey
Shit
studio.
out of
Gotta enjoy
Get that
the
shit
hockey
outta
here and
here.
there. As a man who probably played hockey growing up, because he's basically Canadian, Gorlami.
Hey, what's poppin'? I am taking a shot and saying a prayer in hopes that Cronwell comes out of retirement and kills every single last one of the Rangers.
And as you can see, we have another spot open. Back to join the podcast once again, the resident Patriots fan, K-Duff.
Only a brick wall can stop the Rangers. Its name is Linus Ullmark and the Bruins.
Okay. All right. We're having none of that now. Also, I have to see, and these buffs are cool. But, I mean, I found these on the street. I didn't buy these. These were just on the street.
What,
You're a
the
strange
glasses?
man.
Sounds like a Rangers fan to me.
I mean, that's basically where we got
Is
Kane.
there-
That's basically where we got Kane, you know? He was just on the side of a Chicago subway, you know, not doing anything.
You
He just
got
lost to
Cronwell.
Sanders.
How many
He just lost
Stanley
his
Cups?
Sanders.
Got
Chicago won again?
Cronwell.
Two, right? Yeah, 2. I don't remember. I'm not a hockey guy.
How many are they going to win in the next 10 years?
0.
Let me count. 1, 2, none.
They won
Yeah.
3.
I'm just gonna reminisce this entire podcast on Cronwell and how much I wish he was still playing.
God.
Just
Yeah.
imagine you're the poor bastard that got floored by Cronwell and the entire stadium just rips
Well, because
out.
who are you a main fan of? Because we got a Bruins fan, obviously, in K-Duff. We got the Philly fan, the Flyers, in Macedon. I'm usually a Stars fan, but they're not doing very well. And I like
have the
New
lucky.
York, but
Dallas Stars.
I have the lucky privilege of being in Wisconsin that doesn't have a professional hockey team. So I could go 3 ways, but fuck Illinois, so I'm not gonna cheer for them.
fuck the Blackhawks.
So primarily Red Wings and then Wild. I like them both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wild.
You can say if the Blackhawks or the Blackhawks. Oh my god.
Why does it always involve dicks, Mamba? Why? Every time?
Men with the headlines of 9-year-olds. That's why.
Oh, jeez.
Also, I'd like to get
Yeah.
it on Wisconsin for my Cole Center souvenir cup.
I just don't have any beer, so this podcast is sponsored by
Go
Monster.
Blue.
Fuck is a cold
Go Blue.
center? The fuck?
Go Blue, buddy. You ain't winning shit this year in any
Also,
sport.
Dallas Stars.
Actually, in
Stars
hockey,
are
we're doing really
second
well,
in
and I'm pretty
their-
sure we're doing better than Michigan in wrestling. So, my nuts.
Oh my god, in wrestling. Let me tune in to see the amount of viewers that watch college wrestling.
Yeah, I like to see you take on Spencer Lee.
Oh, I'm not suggesting that I do. I'm
can't,
just saying
no.
it's like the WNBA. I don't know if I could guard Sue Bird, but exactly if I go around the United States and ask who is Sue Bird, most people are gonna go, who? Like, none of people watch it. All due respect.
that's
like an
Great
18 that's
athletes,
under a lawsuit.
amazing athletes. The popularity is very much
Personal opinion, I think wrestling's underrated, but I
for
grew up
sure.
wrestling, so that's why.
Like actual Olympic wrestling. Olympic
well,
wrestling.
is it out of the Olympics?
WWE.
Or is it in?
No,
It
Olympic
is.
wrestling or Olympic wrestling is a different
Or-
style of wrestling to what you get in high school and college.
Yeah.
That and the Olympic
Because you're
wrestling
allowed
is
more
freestyle.
throw. Yeah, okay. I thought
It's
like you're allowed more throws.
Freestyle's weird. In high school and
Yeah.
college, it's folk style, so it's basically a combo of all of it. But
Or you have to like strum a banjo and then put a guy in a full Nelson. You know?
Ding, ding,
Folk
ding,
style.
ding, ding, ding.
when you cradle him, you have to read him a lullaby.
Old Jack Horner
Like,
sat in a corner eating his humble pie.
And if you blast
some
double
country
him, you
music
have
and
to
then
give
you
him a
get
concussion.
tombstone.
That's a rule. If you don't give a kid a concussion on a blast double, you failed.
Well,
His head better
Uh.
slam that mat so hard it hits the concrete.
yeah, I know the Stars are doing pretty well, but it's the Stars. Like ever since '99, they haven't been up to par, and it's all just Seguin. It's all Seguin. That's entire team. It's just, dude.
You
He's no
forgot
help.
the otter.
I mean, yeah, but like it's still up to Seguin, and just you can score. That's really it. That's
I
really
like to
it.
I like to take a step away from hockey and say go Bucks.
I thought you hated Milwaukee.
I hate the city. I like the Bucks. I like the Brewers.
I mean, yeah.
But they beat the Suns without Giannis, so that's an accomplishment.
They're a good team. They're one of the few organizations that
very-
isn't constantly moving players, and they're working on a nucleus of players doing well. They also they signed Mason Plumlee recently, who was
Yep.
the guy that was on the Heat. He was doing pretty well. He was a starting and backup center that was a really developed game, and then he dropped an anti-Semitic slur while streaming on Twitch. Didn't know what it meant apparently. Jury's still out on that, but he's done a lot of restitution for it, and he was basically out of the league for 2 years for that, and now he's back. So
We also got Jay Crowder, which I think was a good pickup.
that
Yeah,
that was a fucking awful deal. You guys gave up, what was it, like
We
five
gave up too
second
much
round?
for it, but
Was
having
it five
Crowder was
second
good.
round picks? There are 2 rounds in the NBA draft, ladies and gentlemen. 2 rounds. You get 2 picks a year. The Bucks gave up 4 or 5 second round picks for a aging, washed up defensive specialist and streaky 3-point shooter. If you want to know how streaky, look at the finals. The last time the Suns were there, Jay Crowder was abysmal. He was a liability on that court. So I don't think it's worth it.
We don't have.
We'll
I don't
see.
think we have Grayson Allen anymore, which I'm actually glad.
No, you do.
I
You do.
God damn it!
Yeah, he's a jackass.
Meanwhile,
I
I'm
hate
still-
him so much.
Everyone
I'm still
does.
sitting here wondering how
I-
the Celtics landed
Like
Blake
he's
Griffin.
gotten better,
Okay,
but
hold
I'll
on.
never forgive him for what he was doing at Duke.
Yeah. I'm
Never.
a Clippers fan, aka the Lob City name. I've been one for a long time. I actually watched Blake Griffin
Clippers
play.
fan? The
No,
fuck?
I watched Blake Griffin play in a basketball tournament in Oklahoma when I was real little, and he was insane.
Oh,
I watched
okay.
him ever since, and so I kind of followed him. My family doesn't watch basketball, so I had a free reign to whatever team I want to join. There's no teams in Ohio anymore. Cleveland doesn't count. That's its own fucking horrible section of the world that we don't talk about.
Kind of like
Their
Milwaukee.
entire economy runs on LeBron James. It's not great, but
Burn in East Cleveland or you'll die.
but the Blake Griffin that you have in the Celtics is like Karl Malone on the Lakers with one leg.
Oh yeah,
It
I
is
recognize he's not the same guy. I recognize
He's
he's not
lost
the
like
same guy.
50 pounds of muscle. He's slow now. He can't jump anymore. He had a baby with an adult film actress that he still hasn't owned up for yet. Like Blake is not the same. I stopped following Blake after he was very wrongly treated by the Clippers organization, which is a whole nother thing, but still.
My expectations there were tempered, especially after our little experiment with Shaquille O'Neal a few years ago.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Oh,
You had like 400-pound Shaq, and that was a bad
exactly.
Shaq.
I know.
I think the garden would shake every time he walked down the court when he was in there.
You take a
It's hilarious.
step and you think that place is coming down.
Yeah. Oh my God, Shaq's running the fast break.
I think I went to one of the games he played with my aunt, who's been like a season ticket holder with the Celtics for 50 years, and I could literally, we're like in the nosebleeds, and we could feel the ground shaking like every time he put a foot down.
It was either him. They had a big team. KG, who's not hefty, but he's like 7 feet tall playing power forward. You had Shaq, who was a hefty motherfucker. Then you had Big Baby Davis and Kendrick Perkins. I think Kendrick might still have been there before he went to before he was taking up minutes in Oklahoma City.
I think you're right. Yeah.
That was we're talking basketball a little bit. Again, we'll proceed with football in a little bit, but we're kind of letting the juice flow here. If we're talking basketball, the handling of the Oklahoma City Thunder's amazing draft class was horrible. Why they didn't take Ibaka, move him to the 5, have Kevin Durant play the 4, have Thabo Sefolosha play the 2 and Harden the 3, and then Westbrook at the 1. Instead, they had to let, I think it was Harden go off that team, and then they kept Ibaka and Perkins. Why not just let Perkins go? Perkins was a big deal, and they could have easily kept Harden. But I mean, the handling of that was bad.
I know nothing.
All right.
The number one thing I know about the NBA, you all wish you had the Greek Freak.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You know you're a big deal when Shaq bestows his title onto you.
I mean, there's never going to be another Shaq, dude. He was special.
No.
Yeah,
but Giannis is his own. Giannis is his own.
Shaq would make Giannis look like a baby. All respect to Giannis. Giannis is pushing people around at what, 250 maybe?
I mean,
Shaq was
he one-on-one Shaq in his prime. Shaq's destroying him.
I don't really understand the
Shaq
concept of like people arguing like Giannis is great, but could he have really played in Shaq's time? In all seriousness, yes, talent translates to every area.
Shaq's time was not that long ago. Shaq's heyday was
Shaq was just a different breed.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Shaq is the best one-on-one player in basketball history. Nobody's stopping Shaq.
Yes, but talent like translates to any era. Like people like the same thing argument. Like could LeBron have played in Michael Jordan's time?
Right now in the NBA, Bill Russell would be amazing. You can't tell me an undersized for nowadays center that specializes in rebounding, block shots, hustle plays, and playing Tom Thibodeau minutes at Mamba. Like,
I think
he would be insane.
I think the biggest proof of how good Shaq actually was literally having an era called Hack-a-Shaq.
Yeah, and they brought guys into the league.
Free throw line.
They brought guys into the league just to foul him. Like,
yeah, like it was crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and
job it was to take fouls.
Let's go ahead and get on a topic that we all know and love, and that this podcast is supposed to be about. Let's go.
Welcome to the hockey and basketball stooges.
Golf?
Yeah. Golf? No, hell no.
I love golf.
Week 2 of the XFL. We're going to cover that, give you a preview for week 3, and then we're going to dive into the NFC North's offseason ranking prediction, summary, evaluation, shitting on the Bears. So,
shitting on the Bears, but let's just ignore the Packers right now.
Nope.
Yeah. Speaking of wanting to ignore something, I really want to ignore this score. Golly. Let's keep it
0-0, apparently.
Let me refresh the page. Come on, XFL. Come on, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Now you got money. There we go.
There we
go. The St. Louis Battlehawks beat the Seattle Sea Dragons 20-18. Not a good day for my Sea Dragons. I'm trying to think of like
Sea Dragons. They're 0-2. They're trash.
I'm trying to think of like a way to say something like, go Ravens, caw, or go Gators, or like Sea Dragons. What noise do I make?
Go Sea Dragons. These nuts.
Sea Dragon these nuts. Yeah. I feel like this would fit the Vipers more, but
true.
Hey, you leave my Vipers alone.
I mean, I would, but the DC Defenders. We'll get to that actually.
Throwing lemons. All right.
The old punter for the Packers used to be on the Venoms.
St. Louis Battlehawks 20, Seattle Sea Dragons 18. Starting out with the Battlehawks, AJ McCarron, the quarterback for them, former Bengal,
A
former
dog.
Alabama Crimson Tide, absolute dog. 22 for 36, 184, a 5.1 passing average, 1 touchdown, no picks, 3 sacks. A very good performance from him. And he was their leading rusher, 5 carries, 41 yards, 1 touchdown, an 8.2 average on the ground. A really good kind of, make it happen kind of guy right now. Also in the running column for them, Mateo Durant, 13 for 34, no relation to Kevin, and Kareem Walker, 7 for 27, and Gary Jennings, 1 for 6. As far as receiving goes, Hakeem Butler, 4 for 61 and 1 touchdown. Austin Prohl, 4 for 37. Marcel Aitman, 3 for 23. Mateo Durant, 3 for 21. Kareem Walker, 2 for 13. Darius Shepard, 3 for 12. And George Campbell, 1 for 11. Very, very even distribution of the football. A lot of options, a lot of guys getting time, which is great to see in the league that's really trying to promote giving guys a chance. But also at the same time, great play by AJ McCarron to just find the open guy and really get to him pretty well. Again, he had a pretty high completion percentage, 22 for 36, great performance, no interceptions, which for an XFL quarterback is a great thing, and a touchdown as well. Pretty good performance. Definitely seems like a front runner for the XFL MVP, which is, again, way too early to call, but it's early.
Too early.
An argument could definitely be made at this point for it, I'd say.
I mean, that's just another comeback for St. Louis, another Sea Dragons choke.
Wasn't there like a post
getting it down the
McCarron
neck of the Sea Dragon has a lot of turns, so they tend to just exasperate on their prey.
Wait, what did you say, Gorlami?
All right, fuck the Sea Dragon. Wasn't there a thing made with McCarron how he took a pay cut? The real reason he did it was so his sons could watch him play or something.
That was the thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have made more money
Good
being
for
a
them.
backup in the NFL, but decided to take a huge pay cut.
Well, I mean, he can still go and be a
one,
backup in the NFL.
Yeah. Number one, so he could play. That's probably the most important. Number one, he could play. Number two, his sons get to watch him play, which is probably going to be a big motivation for him. So he's making less money. He probably still had a bunch of money saved up from his backup contract.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
So wait, is he has a contract in the NFL and XFL?
No.
I'm saying he would have made a
Mm.
lot of money. He probably had that saved up.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's going to happen is that if he wants to re-enter free agency in the NFL, he's going to be coming into it late off of this XFL season. So
Which is fine.
It is. I mean, teams might still be looking for a really experienced
pick him up.
backup quarterback. Yeah. And he's also had a lot of time in the league. He's played for Nick Saban offense. So, I mean, he is knowledgeable and smart enough to maybe even teach a younger guy. He might, I could see him possibly being a backup quarterback. Probably the third stringer in San Francisco. I don't think that would be a bad matchup for him. Being behind Purdy and if it's Trey Lance, I mean, I don't. The situation in San Francisco's crazy after Brady was forced to retire because of his wife, former wife, that bitch.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for Big Cock Brock.
Yeah, I think everybody is. First of all, Big Cock Brock has got to get his weenus fixed first. After that, then we can start.
I'll donate my weenus for that, man.
In defense of Trey Lance, though, we haven't seen enough of him.
Oh, weenus transplant. Be careful, Doc.
In defense of Trey Lance, though, I like Big Cock Brock, but we haven't seen enough of Trey Lance to confirm whether or not he's a met or bust kind of quarterback.
Right.
Group.
So San Francisco,
I can prove it. I can prove it in one sentence. He played at NDSU. He's not that special.
Is that the same school Carson Wentz came out of?
Yeah.
That should tell you even more.
Did Mahomes come out of NDSU?
No, he was Texas.
No, he came out
Texas
Texas
Tech. Cliff Kingsbury taught him.
Because the big thing was Cliff Kingsbury. That's why Arizona hired Kingsbury. Because
as it turns out, making the new face of the NFL does not make you an instant head coaching material.
I mean,
NDSU was D2 in football.
It is, but also they've made guys like Cole Strange, who is an absolute beast. So I mean, just because it's a small school doesn't mean it's a bad player.
I know they're D1. And
Dennis Rodman came out of a fucking NAIA school, and it was the best rebounder in NBA history.
Yeah, and he also likes Kim Jong Un, so
Okay.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
My next follow-up to that was going to be, Karl Malone came out of Louisiana Tech, but then we'd be talking about Karl Malone and that 12-year-old woman he was with.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Let's
we
just
don't talk
ignore
about
Moving
that.
on.
Moving on. Yeah, San Francisco's in a rough spot because they don't know what they're going to do, because you either have what could be the NFL version of Linsanity in Brock Purdy. This could be a one and done. This guy could come out next season and look like Carson Wentz's third finger on his right hand. Bad. So, I mean,
true, yeah.
or it could just be Brock is continuing to throw precision passes and continuing to be an exemplary leader in the pocket. And then they could go with Trey Lance, and then Trey Lance could have lost all that explosiveness, and then he is now a pocket passer, which he was never insanely good at, and a lot of his edge is now lost. So I think the biggest thing they need to do is they need to decide who they're going to go forward with and trade the other guy. In my opinion, Brock Purdy has led them really far and has done really well with them. I say there are a lot of teams looking for a quarterback, and Trey Lance hasn't exactly done anything to say he can't be amazing, but the jury's still out. You could definitely get somebody great to fill a hole or a draft pick or something and move Trey Lance.
That definitely
it's just
is
a
possible.
matter of the cap space for that, because they have to give up.
Well, they're not going to resign Garoppolo, or they shouldn't. If they do,
they're not.
They're not gonna.
I don't
see any.
I don't exactly
situation
know
they
their
would.
cap situation. Like,
I
we'll
mean,
obviously get to that.
We'll get to it, but like, I mean, a team looking to rebuild that just lost a quarterback, the Buccaneers.
Looking at the Raiders.
You could move Trey Lance to the Buccaneers and maybe try to pull one of those really good O linemen to help Trent Williams out. I'm not saying will Jensen's contract work out? Would Wirf's contract work out? Maybe, but I mean, you're telling me if you can get either Ryan Jensen or Tristan Wirfs, and you have Trenton Williams, forget pass rush, man. Because I think the biggest issue that they had in that game was Hassan Reddick was dominating the right tackle.
Tristan, honestly, the Niners just gotta stop being so injury prone. I mean,
yeah, that also.
They just need to get guys that just built like a brick wall. You can't break them.
Yeah. They could have actually been a Super Bowl contender with like the piece they picked up this year, but those injuries finally caught up down at the worst possible time against the Eagles. So.
All right, moving on to the other side of this game, the Sea Dragons.
DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci. 19 for
DiNucci.
Mamma mia. 19 for 29, 196, a 6.8 average, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. Rushing was led by Morgan Ellison, 10 carries, 50 yards. Ben DiNucci also 8 carries, 38 yards, and Brandon Knox 3 carries, 15 yards. For receiving,
that's my man.
Ja'Cour Pearson, 4 receptions, 78 yards, 1 touchdown. Josh Gordon, 1 for 33. Yes, that Josh Gordon. Blake Jackson, 5 for 26. Morgan Ellison, 4 for 24. And Damian Willis, 2 for 13.
Remember Damian Willis?
Like, this was still a close game. It wasn't, I mean, it's a 2-point loss. The Sea Dragons just couldn't have their defense stop A.J. McCarron and his onslaught, which was their biggest issue. But again, I mean, not a terrible game. 103 yards of rushing and 196 yards of passing. I definitely would like to see a lot more from Josh Gordon, a guy who, I mean, 1 reception, 2 targets, 33 yards. But like, Josh Gordon also dominated the NFL. This guy was like, people are talking, this could be like the next Calvin Johnson maybe, or Randy Munn, and then he couldn't, lay off the ganja, and now is, in the XFL. It affect a little bit more, but I mean, this is a little rough. 1 33-yard reception that wasn't even a touchdown, which is just mind-boggling. That's literally a third of the field.
2 targets? That's it? Come on.
I mean, if you are the opposing team and you're looking at their roster, who are you doubling?
I would definitely double Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon, right. You would double Josh Gordon. The other guys are going to get open.
Yeah, that could explain why he got so many little targets, because we got somebody that was an NFL caliber player at one point.
2 targets.
They know, and they have that experience. You're going to want to have as much coverage on them as possible.
Yep.
How many fumbles did Sea Dragons give up?
There were a couple. I mean, not as many as there were in the Vegas.
3 fumbles. Yeah, 1 lost by DiNucci, 1 by Pearson, 1 by Ellison. So Ben DiNucci's got to hold on to the rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a great game for the Sea Dragons. They're still having some key issues, which are hurting them at key times. But yeah, St. Louis Battlehawks again get the win by 2, 20-18. Next up, let's go back to the DC Defenders versus the Vegas Vipers. Not a good day to be a Vipers fan, eh, Gorlami?
Just wasn't a
You
good day
shut
for
your
Vegas
mouth.
at all.
Hold on. Have you seen their fucking field?
Yeah,
The DC field?
that's what
Viper.
happened.
Yeah,
No,
Vipers.
Vipers.
Hold an image of it. It's
This is what
literally like a
happens
division.
when you do
so
a baseball
bad.
field,
Was it worse than the
converting it
Super
to a
Bowl?
football field.
Yeah.
No.
It is a minor league. It's a minor league baseball field that got converted into a football field. Dude, the goalpost is the funniest shit ever.
And at the same time, too, like
Oh, I didn't
to
see the
make
goal.
matters worse, it was raining in the desert.
Yeah, it was raining.
When
at
does
Vegas.
that happen? Jesus.
Apparently-
Christ.
You need
This
to
week.
pull it up from the game.
What in
You gotta
the
pull it up
fuck?
from the game.
No.
Yeah.
What in the fuck?
Like there have been baseball fields like the Raiders used to play at the
Bob,
Black
pull
Hole
up-
that have
pull up
been
an image of the
okay for
game.
football games.
Can I stop
This,
being a
however-
Vipers fan?
Hold on,
now?
hold on.
I want to stop
Actually-
being a Vipers fan.
Do
Is this
this.
it?
Pull up the highlights. Pull up
Yeah,
the
the
highlight
highlights
video.
are great.
Well,
Where
I
are
mean,
the
we don't have to watch
highlights?
highlight, but just YouTube, my guy.
Oh.
Yeah. Because of it almost looked like a like successor to the Monsoon
Like,
Bowl. Like
you
there was
need
like
to
sliding fumbles. It
One of
almost it was just
one-
bad.
One of the goalposts is like up against a wall.
Well, I
Probably
don't
one of those
know
like
if I showed
dividing
it
walls
right.
that was in the backfield in like left field, I think.
Yeah, probably that. But like,
I remember like the
Oh,
week-
yep, there it is. Maston posted
okay,
it
I
on
did.
Discord.
I actually did find the right one. Okay.
They will
Oh
start with
my
the ball.
god, that's so scuffed.
There it is. Yeah.
Lob, you could pop that one up. And the field
Put in
was
Discord.
terrible. Like people were slipping; they couldn't get. Like kickers were. Actually, you can see
That-
in this
oh, the
photo
one
the
with the
kicker
kicker.
slipped. The kicker
Yeah.
slipped in this photo right here.
Yeah, look at that. That's not him just practicing a yoga pose. That's
Oh
an
my
actual
God.
man who has fallen down.
Pose. Yoga pose.
That's
Look
up
at
against
that.
the outfield wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the kicker
like
down there
left field, I
slipped
think.
because the field is so trash.
And it was raining.
Yikes!
Like seriously, Arizona Cardinals' field it looks better than Vegas' field.
Did they
Okay.
find a new tenant? Because I thought I heard something about the Vipers.
They
moving to somewhere
should.
else.
I would definitely
Oh, they
find a new
should.
one.
Isn't there an arena in Vegas that the
So about Raiders?
Well, I mean, they already said no.
No.
I think Allegiant Stadium already said no. Or they
yeah, because
couldn't.
that stadium is insane. That's one of the most modern stadiums
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah, no, there's
Right.
no way.
But I mean, like the Vegas Golden Knights, is that stadium big enough?
Yes, but I don't know if it would be a
no.
good conversion
Indoors.
from
No, it's not
hockey
even
stadium
that.
to a football stadium.
Well, I mean, there's
It's
always
like-
smaller hockey stadiums like the Coyotes.
Yes, but still, you're playing on a regular size football
Yeah.
field.
Yeah,
It's not arena
the ice
football.
rink is not. The ice rink is like smaller than a football field.
Like if you had something that was like a stadium that like could like you know how like some stadiums can handle like monster jam, monster truck shows, or it was like if you could find something
Yeah.
like that could work. But
Just
the
play on the
moment, I can't
strip.
think of
Just play on the strip. Just mark out an area, play on the strip. You're good. All right,
Well,
DC Defenders win 18-6 against the Vegas Vipers. Go ahead and look at the DC Defenders lineup.
DC baby.
Jordan Ta'amu, 11 for 23.
Ta'amu, yep.
Yeah, so under 50% completion percentage, 93 yards, 4-yard average pass, no touchdowns, no picks, 2 sacks. For rushing, Abram Smith, 11 carries, 71 yards. Jordan Ta'amu, 12 carries, 68 yards. Raquel Armstead, 15 for 58. And Derek King, 4 for 32.
I've also
Before you
found
move
out
on,
something
dude,
this week.
hold on.
Derek King is actually pronounced Eric King.
Eric.
Yeah, like there's supposed to be some apostrophe in there, which I don't fucking get.
Before you go into receiving, Tamau is straight up a running quarterback. like
I mean,
He's
yeah.
like
12
they're treating him
carries,
like how the
23
Ravens
attempts.
treat Lamar Jackson, where they treat him as like a
Yeah.
running back.
It's
that
what
can chase you
Lamar
laterally
haters
forward.
think Lamar is.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Then receiving, not a lot. 3 receptions, 24 yards for Josh Hammond. Chris Blair, 2 for 19. Ethan Wolf, 3 for 19. Lucky Jackson, 2 for 16. Abram Smith, 1 for 15. And then 3 targets and 0 receptions for Josh Malone. Also, 2 fumbles for Jordan Tamao. So interesting that they still got the win. Moving on to the Vipers stats. Brett Hundley, 11
baby.
for 18, 98 yards, 5.4 average, no touchdowns, no picks, 2 sacks. Eventually, Luis Perez came in 1 for 5, no yards or stats, really. Rushing, Rod Smith, 6 carries, 38 yards. Brent Hundley, 5 for 24. John Lovett, 4 for 10. Luis Perez, 1 for 9. DeAndre Torrey, 3 for 5. And Cinque Sweeting, 1 for 4. Again, a lot of rushers for the Vegas Vipers, really spreading the ball around. And then receiving, John Lovett, 2 for 33. Cam Sutton, 1 for 15. Cinque Sweeting, 2 for 14. Matthew Sexton, 2 for 12. Travis Kuntz, 1 for 9. Jeff Bidet, 2 for 6. Brandon Dillon, 1 for 6. Rod Smith, 1 for 3. It seems like in this Vegas offense, either they really want to spread the ball around or they haven't found anything that works.
We want to talk about stuff that hasn't worked. We'll get to it, but Orlando Guardians, man.
Yeah, so I wonder what approach Vegas is taking. If they're taking the approach of let's get everyone involved, or if they're taking the approach of who the fuck are we going to play?
They're taking the approach of let's get out of this fucking baseball field. That's what they're doing.
They're more focused on trying to find a better place to play than they are like, who's going to be our number 1 receiver?
Yeah.
But no, DC Defenders is a good team. Like overall.
Yeah, they are. I mean,
Yes,
they have a really good fan base to back them up that really inspires them, and they tend to look like they kind of know what they're doing and performing well. We'll see if it works with a running quarterback, though, because,
like we said, I would also contribute. I'd also think probably the rain also helped contribute to those 2 fumbles Tiamo had, but other than that, like they're doing all right.
All right. Third game out of 4. San Antonio Brahmas versus the Orlando Guardians, and it was a 30-12 rout for San Antonio on the Guardians.
Is this
very
the
dominant
highest scoring
performance
game in the league so far? 30?
Probably.
Season at least?
Probably.
Maybe.
I'm thinking probably here. I don't know.
Too early to tell.
For San Antonio, the quarterback Jack Cohen, 16 for 24, 165, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 2 sacks. He also ran for 23 yards on 3 carries. Other than that, not a very impressive performance for the San Antonio on the ground. Kalen Ballage, great last name, 12 for 23. Jacquez Patrick, 10 for 19. And John Hillman, 1 for 1. For receiving, Alze Mack, 4 for 48. Jerice Robertson, 4 for 38. TJ Vanisher, 3 for 35. Jalen Tolliver, 3 for 31. Deion Yielder, 2 for 13. And touchdowns scored by Yielder, Tolliver, and Mack, all 1 apiece. So a very dominant air attack for San Antonio. Now for the Guardians. I
forget Cohen played for the Badgers, to be honest.
Oh, that stat.
The Badgers.
Stat
Wait,
line hurts.
he was. Oh, Wisconsin.
Jesus
Oh my
Paxton Lynch.
God, Paxton Lynch.
See, I was hearing something that the coach is already talking about, like how they need to completely overhaul this roster. He's right. He is very right.
DeAndre Francois.
Okay, so 2 quarterbacks played for Orlando. Both were bad. Paxton Lynch, 9 for 19, 79 yards, 4.2 average, 1 touchdown, no picks, 2 sacks. DeAndre Francois, 6 for 13 for 8 yards with a 0.6 average. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. His longest pass was 4 yards. Ouch. For rushing, Jermaine Martin, 9 for 46. Kelvin Taylor, 8 for 31. DeAndre Francois, 4 for 14. And Paxton Lynch, 1 for 9. For receiving, Javonte Payton, 3 for 47. Cody Latimer, 5 for 21 and 1 touchdown. Eli Rogers, 1 for 8 and 1 touchdown. And then everybody else had 1 or 2 receptions for single digit or no yards, even negative yards. Kelvin Taylor, 1 receptions, negative 3 yards on his only target. They didn't fumble the ball, but when you have both of your quarterbacks that play the game that are under 10 completions and they both attempted 13 or more passes,
that's bad.
Holy fuck.
What the hell are you doing?
Orlando, what is wrong with you?
I ask myself the same question about Florida every day. Trust me.
Are they running a 2 QB system? I don't.
I think it's just because
'Cause Lynch
Paxton
sucks.
Lynch is dog shit.
That could be a reason.
Again, I said it
Definitely-
last week.
I think
There was a tweet put out that actually
He's-
said he was the only quarterback to be benched in every major football league, including
That's right.
the Canadian Football League.
I think
yeah.
New Orleans recovered better from Hurricane Katrina than they did from the Guardians' freaking performance at this point. Jesus.
Like, yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, their defense got torched like the Reichstag. It was
Was
bad.
that-
Whoa! Whoa!
Holy shit!
I
we're
was
going
gonna-
that
I was gonna
far.
say,
Whoa!
I go
Whoa!
Time out.
Whoa!
Did I go too
Whoa.
far? No, you went too far.
I mean, what? Torching Nazis is too far?
It's well.
Oh God!
Well,
I
we're
mean, it's
demonetized,
bad.
guys. We don't get our 20 cents.
It's bad.
I'm just saying.
Let's rewind that.
Okay, hard cut. Anyway,
Back to fun
they-
bus to fuck
rewind
up.
time.
Back at beep beep.
Beep, 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 beep.
We'll be right
And we're
back
back.
after this short commercial message. Oh
Technical
man,
difficulties.
Man, am I glad we're not monetized.
yeah, I don't think we ever were.
I don't think we ever will be at this point now.
No, that just stirred it up. All right. Anyway,
Christ,
30 to
almighty.
12, the final score.
Orlando sucks.
Does that mean we
Sucks.
could just throw? Does that mean we can throw any jokes we want out now?
No. Oh god.
Are
Okay.
you
Anyway,
sure-
the final
are you sure? I had
game
7 lined
of the final game of week 2, the Houston Roughnecks beat Arlington 23 to 14. Wade Phillips playing.
I
in
read that as a
February
Houston
football.
Rednecks right away.
I mean,
Might-
it's
I
fair.
mean, it's Wade Phillips, maybe. But also,
And it
Wade
is
Phillips is undefeated in February football. Let's fucking go.
No,
Great
I
job
mean,
by him. to
he
get the
was a
win here.
good defensive coordinator. I
Oh
will
yeah,
admit that.
he was great.
Very good.
Great for a long time. And I think this is kind of showing that I mean he might be out coaching some guys, but again, also has some great players on his roster. Start with the Roughnecks. Their starting quarterback Brandon Silver is 50% from the field, 14 for 28, 173, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 6.2 average, 1 sack for 8 yards. A very efficient performance, even though the completion percentage was a little meh. Rushing, Cole McDonald 7 carries, 39 yards. Max Borghi 12 carries, 27 yards, and Bryson Aline 2 carries, 10 yards, as well as Dijon Lee 3 carries, 6 yards. Receiving, Ben Putman 4 for 65. John Trey Kirkland, 2 for 56. Max Borghi, 2 for 20. Cedric Bird, 3 for 19 and 1 touchdown. And Nick Hawley, 1 for 5 and 1 touchdown. So a very efficient
noticing-
performance. None of the
Noticing not a lot of
stats pop off.
interceptions.
Yeah, this week teams were a little bit sharper. Quarterbacks were looking better. But for Houston, not a lot of stuff pops out of the page at you.
You're not seeing a lot of interceptions, but you're seeing some pretty bad completion percentages.
Yeah.
I guess that's
I mean,
kind of
they are younger quarterbacks, and they're quarterbacks that have struggled in the past, so
They probably
working.
don't want to. They don't
Yeah, I
want
mean,
to.
like they're working with,
risk
with
it, I guess.
completely NFL level talent.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then for the Renegades, Drew Plitt, 15 for 29, 120, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and 5 sacks for 38 yards. Devontae Smith was their lane carrier, 7 carries, 16
Devontae
yards.
We-
Davion Smith, sorry. Davion Smith.
Davion, bro.
Drew
Jesus.
Plitt, 2 for 14. Keith Ford, 6 for 11. And Andrean Killens, 4 for 2. For receiving, Saul Canella, 4 for 38. Devon Smith, 4 for 32. Brandon Acarnado, 2 for 17. Nate Beckner, 1 for 13. Sean Modster, 2 for 12. And everyone else had 1 or no receptions for single-digit yards or less. There was also a
I
fumble
like I like
lost.
seeing the yardages. Like even the guys that get 1 completion. I like seeing you got a couple 1 for 4s, but you got a 1 for 13. You're getting
Yeah.
decent yardage off the receptions they do get.
It seemed like the defense for Houston,
Like granted,
caused a lot of
it's not
issues.
gonna amount to an NFL level, but
But when you
it's
have
good.
Wade
It's
Phillips
good.
as
It's good
on the
football.
other side, of course,
It's
that
good
defense is
football,
gonna be
really.
ready to go.
Yep. Yeah, I think again this was it wasn't a win that jumps out of the page at you. It's not a win that's like this is an amazing win for Houston, but it was just a well done, solid football game in all regards. They played great defense. They had more time of possession. They were able to stop the Renegades a lot more, and they were able to then score at opportune times. So it was a very solid football win, and I think that is indicative of good coaching. So I think definitely Houston looks great in that regard, and a lot of their players seem to be clicking a little bit better. And it'll probably only get better as the season continues. So this will be a team to watch out for. They are
more efficient than
2-0,
flashy.
yeah.
They're 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0. Like, they're undefeated thus far. And it's
You
really
said yourself,
doing
Wade
great.
Phillips is undefeated in February football.
Yeah, hats off to you, Wade. All right, that wraps up the week 2 summary, and now we're going to go into the week 3 predictions. Let's have K-Duff and Gorlami. Gorlami predicted week 1. K-Duff predicted week 2. So let's have them. But he predicted 4 Gorlami. So let's have them both start at Gorlami's level now. So they're like,
that's just not good. That's just not good business.
Only because you were absent last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was at state wrestling. Couldn't help it. You know, professional coach on the I'm out on the Cole Center.
Wrestling. Good old wrestling.
All right, so the 4 games lined up. We have a Saturday game at 7 p.m. Seattle at Vegas. Then Sunday at 1 p.m. St. Louis at DC. Then Sunday at 4, Orlando at Arlington. And Sunday at 8, San Antonio at Houston. So you have one Saturday game and then the Thanksgiving schedule of 3 games in succession on a Sunday.
Thanksgiving schedule.
Well, no, yeah, like only 3 games and then early, midday, late.
Yeah.
That's the Thanksgiving schedule.
2 of the games are on FX, so it's useless.
YouTube TV.
ESPN.
Yeah, that's ESPN Plus.
Fucking ESPN, dude. I swear to God.
You can still find them.
You can
find them somewhere. All right. So Seattle at Vegas. Both of these teams, I believe, are looking for a win. I don't think did Vegas 1-1 or did they?
No,
Vegas.
They lost their Renegades. And
Hey, yo, Lob.
Their own
fuck your Sea Dragons. Vipers got this shit.
Nah. First of all, we're playing at your shit field, so Ben DiNucci's going to take off because he's constantly used to playing. Ben DiNucci's been, used to playing at shit fields like the Jerry Dome, so he's going to be right at home. So I'm taking the Seattle Sea Dragons by 10.
I'm taking the Vipers by 3.
Old one.
Vipers by 3. All right. We'll
So
go
my
down.
turn.
Yeah, we'll go down to Mamba, and then we'll hop over to Masson and K-Duff. We'll just.
I got you. Go for the Packers guy first, then the Bears guy. I got it.
Yeah.
All right. Sea Dragons.
You will always be below me.
You're saying Seattle?
Until you lose Rodgers. Seattle by 14.
Hey, Jordan Love's got potential, man.
About as much potential as the.
Shut up. I don't want to hear it.
I'm gonna go Vegas by 3 because Seattle likes to choke like the Chargers.
Oh God.
Lob, let me know when your team has a running back with better quads than Saquon Barkley. I'll wait.
All right, get up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Seattle a little bit of a break. I'm gonna say that they win by 7. We're forward Vegas.
Tell me Mixon does have great quads.
AJ Dillon's got better quads. It's simple as that.
Actually, Mixon got some.
But does
guns.
AJ Dillon point guns in random women's faces during a deep playoff run? I don't think so. Joe Mixon on top.
All right, sorry, he's a family man.
Does AJ Dillon punch women? No. Joe Mixon.
He actually streams
dumbass.
on Twitch. I watch his Twitch streams all the time.
Oh my god.
I'm not even kidding. He only gets like 120 viewers a stream, but it's fun.
All right, DC St. Louis.
Okay. DC St. Louis. It's at DC. All I need to know. DC by 7. Gorlami.
DC by 14.
I'm going opposites, motherfucker. Give me the Bellhawks by 7.
It is AJ McCarron.
I respect the decision. I respect it.
Listen, what does AJ McCarron do when 150 fucking lemons are sailing at his cranium?
Yeah. Lemon Bowl 2.0. Let's go, baby.
Lemon Bowl.
Even though it's at DC, I think St. Louis just gets on comeback by 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And K-Duff.
DC's my team, but Battlehawks are a very good team. I would say still DC wins, but it's gonna be a much closer one. But I'd say probably by like 3 points.
All right. Next up, the Orlando Guardians at Arlington. Orlando coming off of probably one of the worst performances that they had this year.
Ever.
Now at away in Arlington. I'm taking the Renegades. I think this is going to be their time to shine. I'm going to take them by 10. I don't think Orlando's going to be able to come back from that really horrible performance.
I'm going to go opposite of that. I'm going to say Orlando's going to make a good comeback, but I don't think it's going to be good enough to win. Not being at home, I don't think they're going to pull out the win, but I'm going to take the Renegades by 3.
Oh, okay.
You fucking flipped it on him, bro.
No, okay, Mamba.
All right. Well, Orlando's a trash team, so give me the Renegades by 7.
I'm going to go Arlington by 14. Have fun with Paxton Lynch.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to echo Maston, Arlington by 14.
Yeah. Final game of the week, the late game. Houston is at home against San Antonio. I don't think I can, even though it's not February football anymore, I don't think I can root against Wade Phillips, man. I think he's been doing a great job with his team thus far, and the players have been performing at a very, very efficient rate, and they've been doing well. So I think I'm going to take Houston in a pretty close one. It's not going to be a blowout win, but I'll take them by 4. Go ahead, Gorlami.
Shoot. Screw it. Houston Rednecks by 10. They're the Rednecks from now on, just because I read it that way. I don't care what their name says.
I read it as the Roughcocks, but hey, that's just me.
Yeah,
All right,
Bears fans.
Give me the
It's
Roughnecks.
you, Mamba.
It's Roughnecks by
Roughcocks?
7. By 7. Roughnecks.
Okay. I'm going to say Houston by 6. It's going to be kind of low scoring with that defense of Houston's.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Houston by 7.
Alrighty.
I would like the record to reflect I am shooting in the dark here. I have not watched much XFL. I'm guessing.
No, I mean I watched it. I totally
watched
didn't get caught up in the 20 minutes before this podcast started.
No, you would never.
Right, and with that, we are going to that's our XFL done and out of the way, and we're going to continue on with our coverage of the different divisions in football, their end of season wrap up, their end of season prediction, who we think we're going to go after, what they need to address, what they need to do, and we got a chock packed division, probably the division that most people are talking about for a multitude of reasons, and that's the NFC North. And if you want to know, how the NFC North went, this basically
I want to abstain.
Yo, it actually feels like we're moving. Holy shit, boy. Damn, that's tragic.
Hey, we traded our best defensive players out. Okay, that was bound to happen.
So that was a representation of the Chicago Bears season. The worst record in football this season. Not a great moment for them. As far as the season went, I don't think I'd give them a 0 in their 1 to 10 ranking. I don't think I would do that. I would probably go along the lines of like a 3, maybe a 4. Justin Fields showed insane progression. He looked like one of the better quarterbacks. I think he was probably one of the better quarterbacks in that division. I definitely think Aaron Rodgers was still the best, even though he had a rough-ish year. But then right behind him was either Jared Goff or Justin Fields, and then Kirk Cousins, because if you play Kirk Cousins at 1 p.m., he's great. Any other time, he sucks. So the development for Justin Fields was great. The moves they made in trading away Roquan Smith, their best defensive player, and bringing on Chase Claypool were bizarre and
Yeah.
awful moves.
Well,
I'm thinking asset management is an abstract concept to the McCaskies, but
I mean, to me, when
But
I saw
Roquan
like
wanted
people,
too much money.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, like people were saying, oh, you know, the Bears management, let them cook, and I'm like, it's
Broncos
this.
country.
This is
Yeah.
cooking for Bears management. Like,
Broncos
It's
country.
new management now, all right? It's
well,
new.
Okay, here's
I
the
mean,
thought
you're not in the
process.
Ryan Pace era anymore, but it's
Yeah.
not exactly an upgrade.
It's
Oh,
still
well,
a
okay.
shitstorm, no matter what way you
Well,
look at it.
My thought process is going to be thinking this.
Gotta let 'em
They
cook.
can't pay Roquan Smith because how much he's going to want. And also, he was not signing. Like, was Roquan Smith going to sign at all with them?
Probably
Yeah,
not.
he wanted out.
So they got draft capital out of it. Chase Claypool, I think it's just a 1-year rental. See what happens. If not, all right, thrown out.
Yeah.
Justin Field has progressed. Their running backs are good. You got David Montgomery. Khalil Herbert was going off. I mean, like, gotta fix up the line, that O line, and then you gotta fix up the defense. Eddie Jackson's still there. It's just
don't
Yeah.
forget they have Joe Thomas on their team.
They do. Speaking of fixing defense, I don't think they're going to be doing much in the
sadly.
draft. I have to get who I thought they were going to get, Jalen Carter, after the news I broke about him yesterday. Wanted in connection with a deadly crash in street racing in Florida that killed one of his teammates and a team
So
staff.
he got back to
God.
but he's back at the combine. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
That guy.
What?
What position did he play for? Who?
Carter is a defensive lineman out of Georgia.
Oh right, yeah, that guy. Okay. But yeah, the biggest thing with the Bears is they have a ton of cap space. They're a decently high market team. They're not in New York or in LA, but they're pretty close. They have a good quarterback that could use some weapons, but there's no O-line and there is no defense. None whatsoever. There's no one. Their highest paid player is Byron Pringle. And 2 spots below him is Riley Reef, who was a former tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl on the worst O-line in history, basically. Like, people are going to remember that's the worst O-line in history, even though it probably isn't, just because we got to the Super Bowl and we couldn't block anybody.
Yeah.
Their second highest player is Al Quaiden Muhammad.
Household name. No idea who that is.
If you were to,
I
like,
mean,
I don't know how in 2023 you're getting around with a name Al Quaiden. Quaden? That's like a few letters away from Al Qaeda. So, like,
You know,
Really?
to be fair, the creators of South Park got threatened by showing the face of Muhammad, having the last.
Oh
name
my
Muhammad.
god.
Did he
You're
show us
probably
the face?
right.
God.
leave it to the Wisconsinite to talk about South Park.
Sorry,
It was a funny ass episode, but god damn it.
Oh my God!
You know
they
I'm
killed
right.
Kenny.
You bastards!
They got threatened. What do you expect?
Oh my God! The
yeah.
Bears were the first team eliminated this year.
Ski Gad and
Wow.
Getting.
Hey, they almost
Yeah.
beat Minnesota in week 16.
here's the
so-
thing with the Bears.
or
They have a
17, was it?
shit ton of picks, and after that first round pick that they're going to trade out, that's already
Oh,
been
yeah.
confirmed. They're going to trade
What,
that.
yeah, that's the thing. Ooh,
Well, I
I mean,
mean,
who?
it could be like
Indianapolis,
between, like,
Houston,
Indianapolis,
Broncos.
Houston.
Oh, not Broncos.
who
Trading up.
are you going to get for a number 1 overall pick?
Probably a
three
lot of
first-round
draft
picks.
capital.
Not a
Probably
quarterback.
some
Well,
sort of
no.
defensive-
So the Bears don't want it because they think in their mind, okay, somebody wants to pick a quarterback. Quarterbacks always usually go very high in the draft, and this is a draft that has a good amount of quarterbacks. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud,
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker, that one guy out of Florida that's like, yeah,
Anthony
Gators.
Richardson,
Yeah,
Will Levis out of
Richardson.
Kentucky.
yeah. There's a lot of guys.
Kentucky.
There's a lot of guys, and C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young look like bona fide starter level players that could at least be somewhat good, right?
Isn't there a lot of talks
So-
about Dallas bringing in a rookie quarterback? Oh, shit. Dallas.
They need to
Dallas?
draft a kicker.
Dallas.
They need to draft a kicker, first of all.
And probably a new tight end because I don't think they're
I
going
mean,
need
to
you,
but Jerry
coach.
Jones has been talking about like bringing in and developing a quarterback. Like
It's Jerry Jones. He just
They-
talks a lot of shit.
That is a-
Yeah.
they say Dak is their franchise QB.
The only
They also
person
say-
more senile and demented than, or dementia-ridden than Jerry Jones is probably the president. Okay, so
True.
you don't need to
McCaskey.
worry. Okay.
I don't
They should
know. I
probably
don't know.
start
The Ford
moving.
family's pretty bad.
Uh,
I
Let's
mean,
be
I
real
gotta say,
here.
like Jerry Jones owns this. That's one thing to get a quarterback. It's another thing to say like pay Ezekiel Elliott at that extension when Tony Pollard had a
Washed.
career year.
Washed.
Yo, are we talking about the NFC North or the NFC East? Come on, boys.
Yeah, we need to get back on NFC North.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's
All right.
anyway,
Screw the Bears. Next team.
Oh, fuck
No,
it.
the Bears have. So going back to that pick, we need to think about a couple things. Who are they going? If they keep it, which they said they aren't going to, I feel like it'd be a good thing to draft
they're gonna trade
a high level,
No, they should
tackle.
trade it. Get a shit ton of. Get a
They
crap
can
ton of
fleece
Get a
the
good line.
Colts.
Yeah,
Fleece
we
the
get
Colts.
So they
Yeah,
send
so many
they
first
send
rounders.
that first overall pick to the Colts. What do they
Yeah,
get?
get a
And the
package
Colts
that'll
give
them
them
something
their
like
pick
Michael
and a
Pittman
bunch
or
of
Stephon
seconds.
Gilmore.
No, you could get like 2 to 3 first round picks out of that.
Hey,
There's
hey,
no
Mama,
way.
Mama,
I'm
all
sitting there as
saying
the
is-
Colts. I'm sitting there as the Colts with like a decently high pick, thinking, why do we need to trade all these picks? They're not going to select a quarterback. The Bears are not going to
Look,
draft a
look,
quarterback.
Oh, don't
Because
forget
it's your
Raiders.
birthday,
Okay,
and he
okay,
traded
okay.
in first
Mamba,
round
for
for
your
Carson Wentz.
sake, for your sake, Lawan is up for grabs and probably Bakhtiari. Go for
What?
it. Go for it.
What?
What did you
Armstead,
just
Taylor
say?
Lewan, and Bakhtiari are all up. Those are big O line.
They're gonna be
Oh,
up.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
no
okay.
way. There's no way Green Bay keeps Bakhtiari, in my opinion.
No.
No,
Yeah.
there is. Roger stays, Box stays. That's how it's going to work.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we don't have. Okay, here, look at the. Okay,
We'll
scroll
get
down
to
a
the
bit on the right
Packers in
hand
a
side.
second, I guess.
Look at. Okay, so we no. Go back up, you fucking. Go back up.
What?
The picks, the
yeah.
picks on the right.
Oh,
Back up.
there you
yeah.
go.
First pick, 54th pick, 65th pick, 104th, one. So you have 2 fourths, 2 fifths, 1 7th, 1 3rd, 1 2nd, and the
1
number
second.
1 overall pick.
Which is most likely getting traded.
Which is going to get traded
Okay,
for multiple
I think
seconds.
the
or
big thing
multiple
here is
firsts.
looking at what position would be best to trade for that number 1 pick.
You want.
I would-
The biggest issue is, I think, the
Wide
Bears would not
receivers,
trade this pick.
Maybe.
I was
If
gonna say
one
wide
guy.
receiver, too.
No. The Bears would not trade this pick if one guy was in the draft. If Marvin Harrison Jr. was in this draft, Bears ain't trading that shit.
Who's Marvis Harrison Jr.?
The star, insanely good wide receiver out of Ohio State. I hate him because he plays for Ohio State.
I didn't know-
Golly, that man should have won Heisman 1,000 times over.
Everyone keeps screaming about
Is he
Quentin
not in
Johnson,
this
so I
draft?
don't know about him.
He's
If the way the
He's staying at
Heisman
Ohio
Award
State.
wasn't so stupid, he would.
He's also only a sophomore. He only was a sophomore. He's leading the league in receptions, receiving.
Meanwhile, I'm
yards.
just waiting. Meanwhile, I'm just waiting for
Also,
the
catch
Patriots to, like,
percentage. He
tank
dropped. I think it was like 2 or 3 balls the whole year.
There. I
I
want to
think
say
they
this.
should, I think they should have a
hold on.
Heisman equivalent award for linemen.
So here's what the Bears
They
need.
do.
Okay, they definitely need O line. They definitely need weapons for the wide receivers.
But yeah,
Defense needs to get shirt up more because you trade away Roquan Smith. And
you can
Robert
find
Quinn.
really good players for defense. and
Defensive
O-line late.
line.
Yeah.
Defensive line you need because our defensive line is ass.
Yeah, and
So-
this draft is full of like a lot of stuff for like edge rushers.
Not only
defensive
draft,
line.
they have so much money that they could use up in the free
What is
agency.
their cap right
They're
now?
not gonna though.
It's over.
They have a
100
lot
million.
of cap space.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
98
McCaskies
million.
could definitely go on a bit of a shopping spree this year.
And they could let some players go, basically make that cap space even more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Riley Reef.
Riley Reef gone.
Eddie Jackson's contract ends when?
No idea. But these are the free agents. Let's see if there's any guys you think they should resign. These are all the free agents. Byron Pringle,
0. None of them. Get
yeah,
rid of all of
Quaden
them.
Muhammad,
Fuck.
Riley Reef, Nicholas Morrow, Angelo Blackson, N'Keal Harry, Ryan Griffin, DeAndre Houston Carson, Patrick Scales, Matthew Adams, Dane Kurtshank, Dakota
Montgomery.
Dozier.
Wait, he's on a whoa. Montgomery's on a. He's a free agent. Montgomery? No way.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, unrestricted free agent.
Oh, you gotta,
Alright,
you gotta resign him.
guys-
Michael
call me-
Schofield, Mike Pennell, Dan Pettis, Joe Thomas, Nathan Peterman, David Montgomery, Keel Blazer, Game, Sam Who,
Sam
Jaden White,
Mustipher.
yeah, Brennan Borders, Trayvon Wesco, Josh Blackwell, Armon Watts.
All right, call me
So-
biased. Resign all of them.
No,
Maybe Montgomery.
is the biggest one you need to focus. If for some reason you fuck up and get no linemen, bite the bullet and take Reef again. And then maybe Peterman if you just want to keep him as a good backup. But other than that, they can all walk, and you need to find new people that want to be there and that are going to improve the prestigious program of the Chicago Bears.
As someone who was part of the team that a fan of the team that drafted N'Keal Harry, I would definitely move on from him. He hasn't really shown much development. Even
that is the classic Patriots thing to say. As part of the team that won Super Bowls with Tom Brady, no, you were not part of that. Just because you got a raggedy ass jersey from 1945 doesn't mean that you were part of all these teams.
Suck my deflate.
I didn't say anything about a winning Super Bowls. I'm saying move on from a guy we drafted and
bought it. You bought the refs.
Hold on. Could you open up and see who's free agents overall in the league?
Suck my Spygate, suck my Deflategate. Adam Vinatieri saved your ass more times than one.
You gotta hand that to Vinatieri.
And I thank him for it.
Gotta hand that to Vinatieri. So
Orlando Brown Jr. we get.
Okay. Taylor Lewan. I kind of want the Bengals to target Lewan. That'd be great. Lewan has also stated that he wants to be on a team that is contending for a Super Bowl, which means the Bears are out of the question. And he also said he loves the Bros play.
Hold on. Also, I just saw some defensive players.
Did you see what the Titans did with Lewan?
Where's the wide receivers at? The fuck?
Tommy Wood is Robert Woods.
There's one here. Robert Woods. There's not many. Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah. You can take
Sterling Shepard.
Actually,
Dalton Schultz. That is a
and right above him, Mike Gesicki as well.
Yeah.
I don't think
Dalton. Right now, looking at this entire list, I think the best players on this entire list right now, looking at them, is Dalton Schultz, Jesse Bates, Fletcher Cox, and then Brady's not returning, and then Lewan and Brown. Those are probably the best players that I can see.
Did you guys see what the Titans did with Lewan?
Yeah, they
dropped all of his stuff off at his house.
Yeah,
you know what?
He wanted it. He wanted it.
Yeah, and he literally goes, "They even gave me the shoulder pads. This is great."
You know what's gonna happen? Bears gonna trade the first round pick, get a wide receiver and draft capital. They'll go build the line.
You're getting either Michael Pittman from the Colts, or
you're getting
who?
I don't even know what the wide receiver is.
Yeah, exactly. T.Y. Hilton's in Dallas.
Yeah,
you're not getting him. So
Raiders need a quarterback too. So what does Raiders have?
Hunter Renfrow.
You
want Hunter Renfrow?
Devontae Adams is
Devontae Adams.
I mean, you're gonna be drafting a wide receiver second.
But Devontae Adams gonna want out.
Second round, you're gonna get a wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't see him going to the Bears though.
If the Bears trade the first overall pick for Devontae Adams, I will chug a bottle of something on stream at the draft.
I'll chug a bottle of Rumpelmans.
There's no way.
I will chug a bottle of Rumpelmans.
I would love that. But
Randall Cobb, he's like 49.
Yeah, hold on. Free agency
32, but close enough.
You're gonna build both.
That's basically 49 in wide receiver.
Larry Ogunjobi, that's a big DE that could be really good.
Yeah.
Akeem Hicks, bring it back.
Cleveland Farrell,
pick up
Jonathan Jones,
Marvin Jones. He's also old as hell.
But I think we're good on this.
Speaking of old as hell, Julio Jones.
He's injured.
Julio Jones, whose hamstring is like this.
Yeah.
All right.
The Packers.
It's literally has a pair of scissors just sitting on it at all times.
Let's go to the Packers.
Packers need wide receivers.
No, can we not?
Oh, we're going to the Packers. We are talking about
Packers.
How
is Aaron Rodgers starting to switch?
All right,
they need
so
to get rid of Rodgers.
A recap of the Packers season. They lost Devontae. Things were really shaky, but Rodgers said, "We still got it. We can still do it." And they looked like they had a pretty good defense. They had a lot of guys that were coming in, and they managed to get some of the a couple of the really talented linebackers out of Georgia. to play on their defense. It ended up being okay. They struggled early on, but then turned it on late season. Going into the final week of the season, they had a win or go home game to put them in the playoffs against the Lions, and they choked at
Not
home.
only that,
No,
got
they didn't
swept by the
choke. They went
Lions.
up against Dan Campbell.
Apparently,
guys
Dan Campbell
choked.
ate all their kneecaps before they set foot on Lambeau Field.
We're gonna go out. We're gonna bust kneecaps, and we're gonna take names. Someone give me a can of Copenhagen. We're gonna.
Well, I mean, it worked out for them. I mean, the Lions swept the Packers this year, so, so they did
Again,
something right.
Yeah, I'll say it once. Say it a million times.
Can I clear the air really quick? Just something simple.
Okay.
I mean, as much as people want to say Rodgers had a really shit year, let's look at all the times that anyone receiving dropped the easiest fucking pass of their life.
Okay, so
That
you're
doesn't
gonna put
doesn't
them all on a
excuse him.
rookie.
That doesn't excuse him.
One
It
time
doesn't, because
against
he
the
had
Vikings.
it was
Christian
multiple
Watson.
times.
Christian Watson.
The
was
jersey,
in
the
top,
jersey I'm wearing, this motherfucker dropped like 2 against the Lions. 2 easy ones he dropped.
Yeah, it's your running back.
Yeah, but you can't
Who-
put everything on a couple drop picks for an entire season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Christian Watson was one of the
There's-
top
there's
5.
actually
Christian
a
Watson
lot.
was one of the top 5 offensive rookies at the late year.
Yeah.
He started out
He
rough.
could have been a running for
Yeah,
offensive rookie of the
almost
year
all
at one point.
rookies start out rough unless they're insanely good to start. Rookies
Like,
struggle.
oh my god,
the game's
a guy
faster.
who hasn't played in the professional level before or was raw coming out of college. When has that ever happened?
Probably
Well,
also
Did you
didn't help that
expect
Rodgers,
Christian
like,
Watson to
refused
enter the
work
field to
with
be
him.
Randy Moss? Because if so, then you're delusional here.
No, like,
Yeah.
even
No,
Cole
I was
Strange was rough early on.
No, I was expecting him to go play Dallas and
Every
beat
rookie's
Terrell
gonna suck.
Owens.
He's not going to turn into Jerry Rice the second he put on the Packers jersey.
All right, you dodged my
Also-
joke, and I'm offended.
No, but no. Well, I was gonna say also, we comparing to Aaron Rodgers last year's MVP year and the year before MVP year to this year, it was bad.
Of course.
You could also see it as like he didn't work with his rookies. That also does take a toll.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
because he's an
part of the
asshole.
problem is Aaron Rodgers.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
call him a diva, but he definitely has some weird attitude around rookies.
He was called a diva. Okay, he's not called a diva. He is a diva.
He's an
Let's-
asshole.
let's-
We all need to tell it like it is. He's an asshole.
Yeah, 100%. He is.
He's
He's a
Let's
bully.
get some
immunized
opinions
for-
from the Bears
He's a
fan.
bully.
Yeah, I'm
He's a
immunized from
bully.
talking to rookies.
Well, but at the same time, like, you can be a good quarterback and be an asshole. Example, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was an asshole to his teammates.
He was.
He was a
Yeah,
jackass.
didn't one rookie try to one-hand catch it, and he told him to get off the field?
Yeah.
And the coach said, "No, you're in."
Again,
and
my
Peyton
favorite
pointed
mic'd
to
up-
the sideline, and he goes, "Coach, I'm not in."
Yeah. One of my favorite mic'd up moments was when a tackle blew a block on a lineman
my God.
for the Colts, and Peyton Manning was under center, so he snaps it and starts walking back, and he saw the tackle was blown. It's like, the block blown. It's like, God damn it, Donald, and just threw it out of bounds.
Wasn't there another mic'd up moment where he's like screaming at Jeff Saturday
Yeah.
on the sideline? That's the
When we
only thing
run, when I say run block, okay? Don't tell me what
that's
to
the
fucking
only
do.
highlight I know of Jeff Saturday. that I
No,
kept
Jeff
bringing
Saturday
up.
Jeff Saturday wasn't he yelling at him like, "Can we run the ball?" And he's like, "We will run the ball when I say we run the ball."
You know, I think the only time it works when your quarterback's an asshole and not good. A later stage Ben Roethlisberger, like the whole
Yeah.
2018 season.
As far as the season goes, they had some development, some rookies. They had not Randall Cobb. It was Dobbs. Dobbs looked really good at the start of the season, tailed off, but then Christian Watson looked better at the end of the season. So they have some prospects at wide receiver. Their defense, though, was not great. Xavier Alexander looked good. They had some key wins that he was part of against the Vikings, but also then Quay Walker is immature. So I would give the Packers probably like a 2 or 3 out of 10.
I give him a 3.
Yeah. I mean, the worst place to finish, and I'll say it once, I'll say it again, is in the limbo area. Just making the playoffs and getting eliminated in the first round, or not making the playoffs. You get a shit draft pick, and not much has happened. You're in this weird limbo bad area. You're not rebuilding,
Okay,
but you can't really tool up. It's this weird blah.
Let's get a good Packers fan coming into like free agency draft pick. Like the way the Packers work, it's a 1. We fucking suck in offseason. We're horrible.
I mean,
Goody's got.
I'm
Goody got
telling
really
you,
good
when
ideas.
you are an
-20.
NFL player and you're looking at where to go, you're also looking at where do I want to raise a family? Where do I want to live? Do you want to live in New York, LA, Dallas,
No.
Miami.
or do you want to live Miami? Do you want to live in a town of raving drunks in Green Bay?
I think that's a great thing, but that's
Well, I mean, no. If you look up maps of amount of alcohol consumption per capita, Wisconsin is like
we don't
Boosh!
like it
Is
is
colored
like,
in
yeah,
entirely.
like dark blue being the drunkest. There's one section that is like completely white. That's a fucking lake. I'm not even like.
Give it time. This time that lake's gonna be nothing but Jameson in a couple years.
No,
Not
jeez.
Jameson, but
All right.
the good shit.
right,
The good shit right here.
And then
What-
as the free agents for the Packers coming out, Adrian Amos, Randall Cobb, Dean Lowry, Mason Crosby, Alan Lazard, who has already said he is not returning to the team, Robert Tunyon,
Yeah.
Jaron Reed, Mercedes Lewis, Dalen Levitt, Jonathan Ford, Eric Wilson, Keeson Nixon, Tyler Davis, Justin Holland, Keir Barn, and Yash Nijman, I believe. No idea.
Niesman. He was
So,
Virginia Tech.
Amos
Next.
was really good. I think we need to re-sign him.
Yep.
Cobb, if you want to re-sign him on a vet minimum for nostalgia, sure. Anything else? No.
You only get Cobb if you get Rodgers, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see them wanting
Yeah.
Rodgers anymore.
No.
So Dean Lowry.
Can I give like a hot take on Dean Lowry? I love the guy. I love the guy.
Yeah. Definitely a bit of an
I
underperformer
would
for his
love to see him
contract,
back.
though.
I would love to see him back just because of how much I love Dean Lowry, but
Yeah. And then Mason Crosby. He's a kicker.
I
He's
think
old. You might want
he
to
needs
draft
to
a kicker.
retire. He needs to retire.
Good.
Lazard
He's
is
a good kicker.
leaving. Tunyon
Yep.
and Mercedes Lewis, I would say try to keep both of them. They're great tight ends. They're good.
Yeah.
Jaron
Mercedes
Reed.
Lewis-
If we end up
38.
with Love,
Yeah.
keep Tunyon. He's gonna
Also,
get
Lewis.
used with Love.
Lewis is a great blocker. Lewis is one of the best blocking tight ends in this league.
I also didn't know he was 30.
He's old.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's old. He's
He-
old. So
he
he's going to
might
be getting a
retire.
veteran deal. But then everybody else, I would say,
But even at that age, he is still a fantastic blocker. You are not going to find a better
yeah.
blocking tight end than Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah. You might want to find
Kittle.
somebody younger to
Kittle.
get ready for
Shut
life
up.
without him.
Shut up. I
Kittle.
don't want to hear it. I'm showing my bias
Let's
right
get
now.
a Bears fan reaction too.
I don't want to hear it.
and then the picks for the
Negative
Packers.
20.
Wait.
They have a first round pick, 15th overall, second round, 46th overall, 1/3, 1/4, 2/5, and then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 7th round picks.
Damn.
If looking at it, if Rashawn Gary, if his injury and everything comes back good, the Packers want him. The GM wants him bad.
Oh yeah, Gary's a great piece in that defense.
Yeah, it's all going to depend on how he recovers from that injury. Quay Walker, you just got to teach him. You don't push the fucking athletic train, especially after a
Of
guy
course
goes
not.
into cardiac arrest, and then he'll be fine. He'll be fine after that.
Yeah.
Wait, that happened? The fuck?
Yeah.
No,
that was
like,
the
Yeah,
Wait,
you
question.
shove an
yeah.
athletic trainer.
No,
in
there's a guy that was,
the Lions game.
He's a hothead.
Oh.
He's a hothead, and he needs to get it fixed. And I think the
Yeah.
Packers have to adjust his contract. Like
You
I
can,
didn't know
the
that.
you
number
can see
one
like
thing,
Matt
with,
first screaming on the sideline, like the fuck are you doing?
but like here's the thing with Quay Walker is like it's not just the NFL's going to do something about it, right? But the Packers had to adjust his contract, saying, "Hey, putting this into a fan perspective, stop being a fucking idiot, okay? Play the fucking game of football. Stop being an idiot, because you are a great player." If you stop being an idiot, you're gonna be looked at as a great player. But if you keep doing the stupid fucking shit you're doing, you're gonna be hated. You're gonna become a
Yeah.
What the fuck's his name from the Bengals?
You want to be a player with character issues? You go to Dallas. You don't go to Green Bay for that.
Oh my.
What the fuck's his name from the Bengals who got fined so much
Vontez
fucking
Perfect.
money? Yeah,
Perfect,
perfect.
yeah.
You're gonna end up being a perfect.
Well,
in all the
Vontez
wrong
Perfect also
ways.
tried to kill people and turned Antonio Brown into a
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's
If Perfect,
insane,
Yeah,
if
but
Perfect
also,
played in like the 70s,
Clay
when it was,
Walker is gonna push himself that way if he doesn't be careful.
if
Oh, like
Perfect
Vontez
played, like,
Perfect and
Yeah.
like Lawrence Taylor would have been best friends.
yeah, if he like played like the 70s and 80s when you could headhunt people on quarterbacks and wide receivers, it would have been great. But he's not in that era,
Yeah.
and no wonder he's out of the league for it.
Let's talk about my favorite boy, AJ Dillon.
I mean, we need
Hot
to talk
take,
about Aaron.
hot
We need to
take.
talk about Roger. What is the
Get rid of him.
For the second year in a row, trade rumors circulating with Rodgers going to either Las Vegas or New York. If a trade does occur, Gorlami, hypothetical, if a trade does occur, where do you see him going?
Jets.
I have to agree. I could see it Jets.
follow?
I know, man,
follow
I
his
don't want.
Favre's
I
footsteps.
don't.
yeah.
Yeah, don't. He's so much like Favre in
Yeah.
ways that you wouldn't expect him to be like Favre.
Following Favre, you know what that means though.
Favre
That
was
means
his
in like
mentor, yeah.
He goes to
That
the
means in
fucking Vikings.
Gorlami.
I'm going.
yeah,
Shut up.
2-3 years. It's gonna be
I know,
out with the
don't-
old Kirk
don't
Cousins
tell
and
me.
then with the Rodgers, and they're gonna be in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, and then Jordan Love's gonna win one Super Bowl and then
Big summer
not do
blowout.
it again.
You got to win one Super Bowl, still hold your team hostage for 13 years, and then go play in somewhere like
Be a
Minnesota.
fucking bully, Jordan Love. See what happens. I'll come to your fucking house. I'll come to your house with a sign saying,
See,
"Stop
okay,
being a
hold on.
bully."
So
At a
if
certain I was gonna say at a certain point you gotta see if Jordan loves your guy.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
is he
Either
good
not,
or
you can
not?
Okay,
discount
biggest
double
here's
check his
the-
ass out of
In
town.
the games he was in, he played good. I think he deserves a chance. If Rodgers gets signed again, we lose Love, we lose that potential.
at the same
That is
time,
Yeah, I think you need to move on.
the entirety of what you are
Yeah,
targeting
they do.
in your offseason is going to depend on what happens with Rodgers. Because if he stays, you're not in rebuild mode. If he leaves, you're in full rebuild. And that means it is a
Yeah.
fire sale.
I'm
That means
okay
you
with
are-
that. I'm
You are
If he's
getting
gone,
rid
they're
of.
blowing
You're
it
getting
up.
rid of
There's no
Bakhtiari. You're getting rid of Clark. You're getting rid of Gary. You're getting rid of Alexander. You're getting rid of Campbell. You're getting rid of Darnell Savage.
The thing I gotta look at is like, as a Packers fan, I was born in the era where the Packers were fucking good. Like playoffs here and there, we miss it every
And now
now and
they're
then,
trash.
but
And you were getting on me for the as a Patriots fan thing.
Then you win the Super Bowl, then you choke in the NFC Championship, and you choke in the NFC Championship, and you choke in the NFC Championship, and you choke in the
Against
NFC
San Fran,
Championship,
against
and you
San Fran,
choke in
against
the
San
NFC
Fran.
Championship, and then you get choked
hey,
in
but
the
guess
divisional
what?
round.
Guess what? How many times have the Bears made the NFC Championship? All right.
I'm a Bengals fan, and we've been to a Super Bowl race more recently than your ass.
Was it like 2000?
Yeah, and what's your record in the Super
10 or
Bowl?
11?
0-3, but with Burrow,
How
it's
many?
gonna be
How many?
probably-
How many world championships do you have? Yeah, we still beat everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
but what's
wait.
been your
Just
current
wait till
record in the
Burrow comes back.
playoffs?
We don't talk about that. We don't cheat to win our games.
Oh, it's getting spicy.
I'm
up
just
in
staying
here.
out
You
of it.
fucking
I'm just staying out of it.
Spygate, Deflategate looking ass.
I'm just out of it just
All
to
right,
be
to the
like, I just want
Lions,
to see
to the
this
Lions,
stupidity
boys,
memes.
to the
All
Lions.
right, we are moving on now
To
to
the Lions.
Detroit
Dan Campbell, baby.
Lions.
How about them Lions?
How
I think
They're
the
not-
Lions are in
They're
a
not
good
the same
position.
old
Um,
Lions.
Even though they didn't really make the playoffs. They were very close. I would rank the Lions season probably about a 5. They definitely improved the team. The city really
7.
gathered around them. I think they really went well. The reason I wouldn't give them a 7, I would give them a 7. The TJ Hawkinson trade. What the fuck?
I don't
What was
understand
that?
movie.
Yeah, that one.
What was
kinda
that?
stupid.
Nothing was released about. He's a problem in the locker room. He's doing this and that. He's just gone. And he
Yeah, like,
was
he's a
your
good-
best.
He's a, yeah.
Debatably your best receiving option. It's him or Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they're kind of like this. They're right together. Why would you
Hold on.
trade
Yeah.
him?
I-
Then you
Can
just
I
randomly
say
trade
this?
him to a division rival, no less. I don't understand the move to this day.
Hold on.
Didn't they
Can
get
I
a
say
lot of
this,
draft
though?
capital?
What?
because of that?
They did get it. They started winning after that
That
trade.
is true. That is true.
Yeah,
That's
it's so
true.
They
weird.
were
but it's-
they were like 1-7.
But is
And the
getting
next
rid of
win,
Hawkinson
win,
the
win,
factor
win.
in that?
I mean,
There's probably something
like-
MCDC didn't like about him. Let's be honest.
Hmm.
Coach, I don't want to chew people's kneecaps when they're on the floor in a pile. It's like you got to do that right now, or you're off a team. I don't know.
and
I
maybe
still
they're
can't
thinking.
decide. I still can't decide if Dan Campbell's an actual head coach or just a fucking motivational speaker that just moonlights as a WWE writer.
I mean,
No, he's a good coach.
plus also one thing though for that, like I don't know if they were trying like when TJ Hawkinson's contracts are coming up, they gotta make some room I know it's not going to be a lot, but want to have something else because they could get another tight end.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like,
A couple big names actually have on their releases as far as free agents.
Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams is one they definitely need to re-sign.
Yep.
But DJ Clark on a $10 million contract as a free agent, that's a let walk. Michael Brockers,
Yeah.
DT, maybe a re-sign. Mike Hughes, cornerback, probable re-sign. Alex Anzoli as inside linebacker. Evan Brown, Chris Board, Josh Woods, Jared Davis, Deshaun Elliott, Nate Studfeld, Justin Jackson, Isaiah Bugs, Will Harris, Dan Skipper, Austin Bryant, Matt Nelson, John Kaminsky, Amane Arulier, Benito Jones, Tommy Kramer, Brock Wright, Scott Daly, Anthony Pittman, and Bobby Price. I would say the big ones you need to re-sign definitely are Jamal Williams.
Mm.
I think that's the biggest one there, and also maybe Mike Hughes and Brockers if you can get favorable deals there. But
Naruto man himself.
Yeah. Not DJ Clark. Not DJ Clark. You have Amon Ross St. Brown, draft another wide receiver.
They also might want to let a linebacker go and draft a new one. I know Noah Sewell's Penei Sewell's brother is a linebacker in this year's draft. He could definitely be a fit for them.
Yeah, that'd be a cool thing to have the Sewell brothers in the same team. I think that'd be a definite boost to some of the chemistry there. They have the sixth overall pick and the 18th overall pick. 2 first rounders. They have 2 second rounders, the 49th, 56th, a third rounder, the 82nd, a fifth rounder, the 155th, and then 2 sixth rounders, the 184th and 195th. No sevenths.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for them is kind of shoring up that defense, giving Aiden Hutchinson some help, probably in the secondary, maybe another rusher along with him, and then maybe one more solid target on the offensive side. I think Jared Goff has played well enough that you can continue to move forward with him until he gives you a reason not to. And then they definitely still need, I think, another receiver to accompany alongside Amon-Ra St. Brown to give him a little bit less of the constant pressure that he's getting from enemy teams.
Riddle me this. The Bears have the first round pick. What if the Lions traded both their first rounders and a second rounder?
In division? Are you crazy?
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Why not?
The Lions could get their
choices.
No, the Lions could get their choices at 6 and 18.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And also, they're not worried about quarterback right now. They could probably
Jared Goff's coming off one of his better years. Even though it's Jared Goff, it's Jared Goff on a good year.
They also drafted one last year too, so they could also maybe develop him rather than draft somebody else next year.
That is true.
Like, the Lions aren't in a rebuild. They aren't.
No, I think they're finally ending their eternal rebuild.
Yeah, I think they are. I agree with you.
I think if they keep majority of what they got now, like with Dan Campbell at the head of it and everything, they're going to be a playoff team. At the least.
they have if they re-sign Jamal Williams, which is a big thing, keep him at running back. That would be great. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's a great thing there, but you also need to add another receiver to alleviate some pressure there.
Yeah, we didn't see much of their draft pick, James Williams.
I think they need to buff their line a little bit more.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if pick 6 was a lineman and pick 18 was a defensive back.
I would say them like picking more of a quarterback at 6, because I think they got some.
No.
They don't need it.
Not right now. Maybe next year.
Goff hasn't given them a reason to do that.
No, cornerback, not quarterback.
Oh,
cornerback.
Yeah, a defensive back at 6. No, they'll be available by 18.
So you get like a D line or like
I can see that going, but
Are you seeing that,
at 6 you might get the offensive tackle out of Ohio State. I don't know. Is Penei Sewell a right or left tackle?
I forget, honestly.
Yeah,
I think he can technically play both.
I don't care enough about Ohio State to pay attention.
You don't know enough about the line if you think he can play both. Both they are very different positions.
Oh, am I thinking someone else? I'm thinking
one's
someone
a blind
else
side, one's not the blind side. That's two different.
Left tackles are primarily pass blockers. Right tackles are run blockers. That's why Lyle Collins can bowl people over, but the second he gets bull rushed, he falls on his ass.
I guess because I heard something else then.
Yeah. But I could definitely see them getting a good offense lineman at 6 and then a DB at 18. Maybe try to see if that second round get them some extra pass rush with Hutchinson because he developed great. But the Lions are in a good position. They just need they're missing some puzzle pieces and they try to have to find the right pieces to put in.
Yeah, they're young.
Be dangerous.
Too.
Yeah.
There's there you go. Panay Sewell, right tackle, right in front of our eyes.
Right. So then the left tackle, they could get the left tackle of Ohio State, which everyone says is going to be a great guy.
What's his name? Harris Johnson Jr.
I think.
As long as you get a guy that's not Quay Walker, you're sitting pretty good.
Yeah. I think the only way that I could see the Lions drafting a quarterback is if they trade both their first round picks to the Bears, draft a quarterback high, and then send Goff for something. They get something for Goff.
I just don't see
I
them
don't
get rid of
see. Yeah,
Goff.
I don't.
I see them trusting him.
The probability for that is low because not only are they trading 2 first round picks to an in division rival, they're also then going. Yeah, Goff had a great season. See ya. Let's get C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young.
No.
You gotta say, is Goff gonna win you? Is Goff gonna win you championships in Detroit?
I
don't
know.
With another weapon, maybe. Goff has always been on that like Joe Flacco-esque. Like there could be a season where all of a sudden he is insane, but then the rest of the time it's like,
I don't.
Because remember 2017 they made it to playoffs with the Rams when McVay is rookie head coach. And 2018 they went to Super Bowl. And it's like
Jared Goff was that close to winning you a championship. That close.
Yep.
And what got in the way was Tom Brady's defense, and the game sucks, as we talked about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't a fan of that win. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I would be more ashamed of that halftime show.
What was the halftime show that year?
What was it? Maroon 5, and it was horrible.
Oh, that was the Maroon 5 one.
Yeah, because everyone begged for the sweet victory, and they got.
We got 5 seconds of it just to be replaced with Sicko.
Yeah.
Let's just forget about that Super Bowl, please.
Anyway, that covers the Lions. Again, their biggest needs are...
Moving on to Minnesota.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to disconnect for this part.
Alrighty.
Defense. They need defense.
Minnesota's end of season
They need a new defensive coordinator.
I would say Minnesota's end of season grade was a 4. Yeah, they got in the playoffs. Yeah, they won the division, but at the same time,
choked to the Giants
by the Giants.
You choked to a freaking redneck head coach.
That's
even more redneck than Campbell.
That's the thing with the Vikings. Their playoff history either has them going deep in the old days or choking in the worst ways possible in the new days. And
but Brian Daboll is not a redneck. That is a New Yorker.
At the end.
I know.
Brian Daboll is a New Yorker. That man smells like gabagool. Okay.
Also, like that's the thing is that with the Vikings, like the year before, they were like 0-8 in 1-score games. And then they almost broke the record of comeback wins, beating the Bills.
Oh, that Bills game was beautiful.
Yeah, and then some other like teams. It's like
you take your best wide receiver out of the equation, and all of a sudden you get mollywopped by a struggling Packers team.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson got shut down, but again, he also won Offensive Player of the Year. He's insane.
He got shut down by Alexander.
It doesn't matter. In 1 or 2 years, he's going to rejoin with Joe Burrow. It's going to be Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. No one's going to stop us.
Here's the biggest problem for the Vikings was that their defensive coordinators, their defense sucked. Their defensive coordinator did not know what he was doing.
And they have a great pass rush. They have 2 of the best pass rushers. In the game, I don't know any 2 better pass rushers, because every team you think has a good pass rusher, they have 1. Trey Hendrickson, 1. Cowboys, Micah Parsons, 1 guy. Max Crosby, 1 guy. T.J. Watt, 1 guy. They have both Rashawn Gary, right?
No.
Who are the 2 Packers? Kadarius Toney. Yeah, and then Zadarius Smith, and then who's the other guy? Oh, I can't remember his name.
Can't remember it either.
Zadarius Smith, and they were killing Rodgers that first game. That first game of the season.
Nah, that doesn't sound
right. I mean, they were killing Rodgers that first game. I thought it was. Look at the salary cap. Darius Smith, Daniil Hunter.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good.
there it is.
That's who it was.
Okay.
Those are two like insanely good edge rushers on the same team, which is phenomenal to have. That's instant pressure, basically. They're free
But the
agents.
secondary was still ass.
Yeah. Dalvin Tomlinson, defensive tackle. I don't know if that's a re-sign. Patrick Patterson, yes.
Peterson,
Garrett
yeah,
Garrett Bradbury, center, yeah. Greg Joseph, maybe. Nick Mullins at quarterback. Chandon Sullivan at the cornerback. Irv Smith, tight end. Jonathan Bullard, D end. Austin Slotman, guard. Andrew DePola, long snapper. Andrew Mattinson, running back. Ben Ellison, tight end. Oli Odoa, tackle. Chris Boyd, corner. Olabe Johnson, wide receiver. So I would say definitely Patrick Patterson's a definite re-sign. Garrett Bradbury is a definite re-sign. And I would say your long snapper, just, if he's still willing to play, still looking good, yeah, keep him. And then Greg Joseph also, that was their starting kicker, I believe, who also ended up winning in the game when they were wearing their sperm uniforms. So I think, yeah. They had an all-white helmet with the Vikings horns, which is like a sperm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen those.
So yeah, I would definitely re-sign him. Kickers are not super expensive, so that's fine. But yeah, definitely re-sign Patrick Patterson. Then in free agency, Peterson, sorry, yeah, in free agency, I think the biggest thing that they need to look for is they already have Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. That's pretty good. They have T.J. Hawkinson. That's good as well. Their offense looks great. Maybe shore up the O-line a little bit if you need to. If a big quarterback makes himself available, I would consider trading Kirk Cousins if you were sure you can get him, because I think Kirk is a liability. Garoppolo or space. Kirk Cousins.
That cap space.
Yeah.
Cap, yeah.
Who can play
I didn't even notice the cap
game.
space. Holy shit.
Who can play better in the pressure game?
Yeah, so you don't have a lot to move with, so you might have to sell some things, which I don't know what they're going to do.
We're getting rid of Tomlinson to try and shore up that cap space.
Yeah.
But even if they're trading, they're gonna get hit by. They're gonna get a cap hit too,
unless the other team wants to pay for Kirk Cousins' contract.
Ooh.
And they don't have many picks. Only one first round at 24, a round 3 at 88, a round 4 at 120, and then 2 fifth rounds, 161 and 178.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot to move. You don't have a lot of breathing room, but something's got to be done.
Yeah. Like if I were to rate like the teams, like for NFC North teams, like in a good position, Detroit, I think it's going to be number 1, great position.
Yes.
Bears, maybe 2 or 3. Packers and Minnesota is like in that weird, like
they're neck and neck with each other.
It depends on if the Packers keep Rodgers. I think they're neck and neck. If the Packers lose Rodgers, they're at the dead last in that division.
Well, yeah, because if they lose Rodgers, they're in full rebuild mode.
Oh yeah, everything goes. It's a fire sale. It's a yard sale. Everything's going.
Stating facts, Gerlami.
Yeah.
The pain is right here.
Yeah. Gerlami might go into the darkness retreat, e.g., passing out on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like
let's
Minnesota
just say that drinking chart, it'll get extra dark blue from where I'm at. Just for me, not from anyone else, not from the rest of everybody.
Minnesota is not in a bad position. It's just like that secondary was shit.
And so was Cousins. Cousins had some games where he was perk Cousins, and other games he was off the perk.
Yeah.
Percocet.
And we do not like that.
Molly Percocet.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't think Kirk Cousins is the answer, and I think something has to be done, but I don't know how you're going to get it done with a $36 million cap hit. That's Kirk Cousins' contract.
Very true.
Maybe some chains will help him. Some ice on his neck will help him.
Yeah.
Would you like that? You like that, Kirk?
You like that? No, but I definitely think coming into free agency, like we've said, the best position to be in, I think it's the Bears. They're in the best position with what they have available to do. Now, depending on what they do, they could end up being the same team and being in the bottom division, or they could end up being very good. Or They could, make a bunch of moves and sign a bunch of players, and something could happen of it. I definitely think if a team from the NFC North is winning the Super Bowl, it's the Lions. They have the best overall roster and the most complete team, even if we're looking at the Vikings right now.
If you look at it in terms of who's got the best options here, take front office decisions out of it, it's the Bears.
Yeah.
Take front office decisions in there. Bears are a little bit farther back. They're not as bad as the Packers. But
a lot can happen in this division. You got a Green Bay team that doesn't know what they're doing with Rodgers, and a ton of stuff could be done there. You got a Lions team that's on the up and up that could be competing in the playoffs next year.
Getting bullied by a diva.
Yeah. And then you have the Vikings who are just going through the Kirk Cousins troubles. Don't know. And then the Bears who have picks and cap space. So there's a lot of options.
The problem with Green Bay is like they're in the same position that Pittsburgh was in for the past couple years until they drafted Kenny Pickett, where they're like Roethlisberger was holding them back. So like until he retires or moves on, you're literally just gonna.
That's a little different.
But here's
late Ben Roethlisberger had the arm strength of a grandma.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers can still throw a 70-yard bomb on the dot.
Also,
the difference with Green Bay is that front office decisions are historically been bad.
Yeah, they have been.
That's Green Bay's problem, and I have to deal with it.
Yeah. Welcome to Wisconsin.
Come on, but what do you think of Bears?
Yeah, the reason that they drink so much.
The Bears are going to the Super Bowl.
You keep this up, Bob.
Yeah, in about 40 years.
Maybe when the Arlington Stadium's built.
No, I mean, maybe.
The only way your organization is going to heal is when Virginia McCaskey finally passes away and her idiot son.
The only way you guys are getting the Super Bowl is if you go into a time machine and get 1996 Michael Jordan on the team. That's the only way. That is the only way, and you know damn well that's the only way.
Bring back the '85 Bears, baby.
We just need
Mike Ditka will carry you to greatness once again.
We just need another refrigerator.
I will say one more person.
You need to put a dome on Soldier Field. That'll apparently fix all your problems.
I will say one more person makes one more roast on the Packers, and I might black out.
Darkness retreat.
Darkness retreat.
You black out. I think that's enough.
There's other ways.
Uh-oh, here goes the whiskey shot.
No.
You wanna cheers?
All right, Mamba. What are you gonna say, Mamba?
Cheers.
Drink, so,
cheers to the Rangers.
Pepto-Bismol. Yay.
Water.
You lost to the Sanders.
Oh, what the fuck?
You lost to the fucking Sanders, okay?
I mean, yeah, we gotta go get Team Gelin. Oh, girl, I'm in pain.
That would hurt.
That looked like that was a mistake.
You go to your darkness retreat now, okay?
Enjoy your darkness
you'll
retreat.
be blacking out.
That is the Football Stooges XFL Week 2 wrap-up, Week 3 prediction, and the NFC North retrospective and look forward free agency report, I guess, if you will. It's a long name. We're still working on abbreviating it. So, NFC North. So, what division are we doing next week?
Yeah.
Well, for people that are still invested in it, we have AFC North here. We have AFC East there, and then NFC East there. So we'll pick one. We've done two.
I'd say AFC North if you want to stick with the way we're going, but.
Well, we also did AFC West last week.
AFC. I planned to just do NFC North, South, East, West, but then you two were gone, so.
Oh, sorry. I had to coach at the call center.
All right. Anyway, for myself,
sorry I had to be on the big stage.
For myself, for Mamba, for Macedon, for K-Duff, and for Gorlami, thank you for tuning in to Football Stooges. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like the video, comment down any messages that you have. Oh, someone check real quick. Do you have any questions? Last video.
Checking right now. Oh god.
Did we forget to do that? Muzzy's gonna kill us.
No. Did Muzzy?
No, just Kate up at first. Just Kate up at first.
All right.
God
so
damn
yeah,
it. Why
on our YouTube page, comment any questions that you have that you might ask us, we'll make sure to answer them as best we can. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys will continue to enjoy the off-season festivities. The combine just happened. We had a D lineman run a 5-second 40-yard dash at 325 pounds.
Damn.
Amazing. But anyway, enjoy the festivities, enjoy the XFL, enjoy everything that's going on, and run the damn ball. Have a good night.
Hey, guys.